Hello, everyone, and welcome to ESO Weekly for what day is it?
Friday.
Friday, May the 17th.
May the 17th.
So, something big has happened. Like,
Yes.
huge.
The biggest thing since sliced bread.
What it is that ESO, or should I say ZOS, finally released information before we recorded.
Oh my god, they're really listening. They're really listening to us.
And even better than that, it was this amazing video on gathering and exploration that was done by Paul Sage, the creative director for ZOS, and it was a really beautiful video.
It was a well done video and very informative too. It's probably the most informative video we've had since the introduction to the Elder Scrolls Online, because every video we've been getting since then has just been, looking at the sites and stuff, not actually discussing the in-game mechanics. So I guess without a further ado, we'll go ahead and play it for our good people here.
When you dive into Elder Scrolls Online, one of the first things you're going to notice is that there's a lot of interactivity in the world. There's barrels around, there's crates around. You're like, what's going on here? So you start to click on them and you say, oh, there's items in them. There's fruits, there's vegetables, there's grains. But it's not just useless stuff. Right now, you can take any one of these items that you find, and it's going to be part of a recipe. It's going to be part of our crafting system. Yes, you'll go out into the world, you'll explore, you'll find plants and many other things that you'd expect. But it all starts right in town, and it starts right up as you get into the game of, wow, I can create something, I can craft something almost immediately in starting the experience. There's more than just crafting resources in the world. For instance, there's books that you find for the Mages Guild. And there's also fishing. You can compete with your friends to catch the biggest fish, and depending on the bait you use, you'll catch different fish. There's also Mundus Stones, and Mundus Stones kind of give you special powers. There's Sky Shards, and you use Sky Shards to increase your skills. And throughout the world, there's chests hidden in secret places. And these chests have locks on them that when you increase your skill with lockpicking, you're able to get better and better gear. And all of these are just a sample of the reasons you'll want to explore the world of Tamriel.
We're going to read in between the lines and see what information. We're going to squeeze every bit of it out of the video. So, first of all, just, I guess, general thoughts. What'd you think? It was,
Well, let me tell you, after that leaked beta video that went out like a few weeks ago, this just makes the game look beautiful.
it was a needed breath of fresh air is
Yeah.
what it was after that.
I mean, if you go past the whole flat 2D apples and grain, everything
Yes.
else looks amazing.
Yes, I do see that, and we've seen sacks of grain in past test games, but I think they've been closed for the most part.
Maybe
but
they should close those back.
hey, the great thing about seeing, maybe they should close those bags back up. No, but it's good, especially we're talking in terms of an online game where there can be hundreds of players on screen at any given time.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing here is nice, especially in the character models. I do like what I'm seeing with the character models. So we're seeing this cart here, this merchant's cart. We see loaves of bread, some apples out there, right? We can pick those up. I mean, we saw that in the video. Clearly, he's picking up bread off the table and stuff like that. So gathering really will be, and this is no new piece of news. We always knew that we were going to be able to swipe ingredients and stuff from merchants. The only downside being, at the moment, is that there's no consequence to that.
Right.
So we could walk up to that merchant stall, snatch a piece of bread, and not a single crap will be given.
Yeah, they don't like try to cut your hand off or anything.
Yeah, no, none of that at all. And, that's a result of, it's just not in the game at launch. They're talking about adding a crime system later.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. For me personally, I'd be like, Zenimax, take all the time you need, push the game back. Let's see a complete version of the game with a crime system at launch. But it's something I can deal with for now.
All right, so we're at the docks here. Let me just
Beautiful
say,
docks.
texture models, awesome. And even from, again, that leaked beta footage, I saw the water, and I saw how you can see all the way down to the bottom, and it just makes the water look clear, beautiful, and overall well done. Especially for an MMO, it's just amazing looking, like the progress of MMOs over the past 10 years.
Sure,
From like
sure,
RuneScape
definitely.
to now.
It looks beautiful. Definitely looks good. We see.
Crates.
Oh, this is a glorious moment, everyone. He opens a crate, and inside, what is that? Cooking fat?
I don't even know what that
Yes.
was, but it was green and awesome.
Cooking fat. And it seems like, at least from what we glean from this bit of footage, is that the stuff we're going to find in crates and barrels is strictly food, right? It's not going to be, you're not going to find a badass sword. Those are probably going to be in chests and stuff, I'm guessing.
It may depend on like where you are searching.
Yeah,
maybe.
that makes sense. So maybe if you're searching a crate in a bandit's
But
camp,
I
you'd
would
have-
probably think you'd find more crafting materials than anything.
Yeah, that's traditionally what it's
Yeah.
been, whether it's Oblivion or
potions
Skyrim.
or something like that. That's usually what you find in
Yeah,
test games.
you'll find cabbages and
Cabbages.
potatoes and stuff like that.
Potatoes.
All right, moving on. We see some. Oh, we're in a church.
Beautiful stained
A
glass
church to
windows.
the 9 divines. I'm sure those are the 9 divines.
Who's
there
that
on the
there
windows.
in that window?
I'm trying. I see. Is that an anvil to the left?
Ah, so that's us. Was that
That might be Zenithar.
Zenithar. That's who.
If that is an anvil, I don't know if that's an.
It could be.
Oh wait, that's an anvil straight ahead of us there. Maybe to
Oh,
the left.
yeah, that is.
an
Wow.
So I guess that's Zenithar up ahead. Anyway, the 9 divines. That's cool.
Yep.
All right, so what we saw was we're picking up food, and again, though, they're not picking up plates or anything. I don't see
No.
any plates getting picked up or anything like that, and I have a feeling that those might be glued down. In games like Skyrim, where we could like swipe a sweet roll off the table, there was stuff that was still on the table that couldn't be picked up. Do you remember what items those were?
Like forks and knives and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. The smaller items
The smaller items,
wouldn't
right?
be able to be moved.
Which
And
ideally,
candlesticks.
yeah, candlesticks too. For some
For
reason,
the dynamic lighting, I guess.
you can't snatch the candlesticks, but you can take the torches, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's funny because in Morrowind you could actually take candlesticks, so it's always weird. And in every test game they decide what you can and cannot pick up, and I don't know what determines that, but at least we got the food we're able to manipulate. But what we're seeing is, and this is something you pointed out, they're still static objects though, right?
Static.
Static in that you can pick them up, but you can't manipulate them. As in,
Okay, so like bread and bottles of wine or something, you can collect them, but you can't actually like lift them up and start twirling them
and
around.
start
and
twirling
looking
them
at
and throwing them putting baskets on the heads of
which
merchants.
for me personally is fine because I mean, okay, yeah, I can move stuff around. Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know.
I know, it's part of the freedom thing, and I've said before, I definitely want it in there. However, the whole reason to be able to manipulate items was really attributed to the fact that you were able to purchase a house and decorate it. And manipulating items, setting daggers on tables and making a suit of armor look pretty on your desk or whatever. That's what that attributed to. Now, player housing, what's the news on that as far as player housing goes?
I don't think there is any because they're not concentrating on that until after launch.
Yeah, so that's rumored for after launch.
If at all.
If at all. And, promises are promises. Devs make promises all the time. I have a feeling we might never see player homes.
They're campaign promises.
Yeah, exactly. They're campaign promises. That's exactly what it feels like. And that's something I wish they would have at launch. And if they had player housing, then I would be like, okay, well, you have to have be able to manipulate an anemone. It's an anemone. Yeah, that would be more important than if we had the player homes. But hey, player homes, that's a topic for a whole nother video, man. We could tear into that, but all right. What else do we have?
Well, I see a bunch of chairs there that you can't actually sit in.
You can or can't? Can't.
Cannot.
Oh yes, the
We can't
playtesters
sit.
are telling us that we can't sit, which is crazy. We can slash sit, but I mean, it's gonna look so awkward.
You're gonna be sitting Indian style.
On a little
I'm
stool.
sorry, Native American style.
Oh, politically correct now. There goes our whole Native American audience. Thank you very much, Kyle.
All two of them.
Gone in the blink of an eye. All right,
Oh.
moving on. Enchanter's table.
Yes.
So we see a couple crafting stations first with the enchanting table here.
And look at that orc player model. He's kind of cool looking.
Is that an orc? He's very pale.
He looks like he's from Aladdin or something.
Very ugly, though, right? Which is great. I encourage the fact that you can make an ugly character,
and like a witch.
There's your proof. So, pale orcs, those people out there that want to go for the Grey Prince, vampire type look. There you go.
Make them fat too.
Got some soul gems on the table there.
Yeah, is that what that is in that box?
Yeah, it looks like soul gem shards, actually.
Okay.
They're too small to be actual gems.
He's got a book open with glowy letters and stuff.
Yeah, I like the fact that we actually have cool animations, because in Skyrim, when I was using Enchanter's Table, he kind of just leaned up against it,
And that's it.
Not waving his hand around doing some cool little magical.
I want some eye porn, man.
Yeah.
Give me some eye porn.
Give it to me. So that was cool. Mining. Super cool. OMG!
Some annoying ass Nernroot.
Nernroot. Nostalgia commence. Yeah. My favorite plant nostalgia-wise. My least favorite plant-wise.
Like applicable? I don't know. I'm going to call it annoying root because all it does is start chiming and you only collect it so it'll shut the hell up.
It's like you're obligated, but there you go. Nernroot confirmed. Fishing. So how many people do you like fishing, Kyle? Are you a fisher?
No. I do it like maybe 3 or 4 casts. I'm like, okay, this is as boring as it is in real life.
I was blogging about it today on shoddycast.com. Fishing is something that I find boring in real life. Why would I want to do it in my spare time in a game?
Yeah.
I do appreciate the fact it's in there. If I want to kick back with my fellow Elder Scrolls gamers, blow the breeze, talk about the politics and stuff, we can go fishing.
We could have some like fishing competition or something, see who gets the biggest fish.
Yeah, sure.
If they do it by weight or something.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because Paul Sage talked about the fact that fishing, you're actually going to have to engage your brain a bit because you have to use certain baits if you want to catch certain fish. So say you specifically want a tasty slaughterfish, which those fish don't look tasty at all. They look pretty gross. But say you want one and you're just craving it, you'll have to use a specific bait to catch the fish. So for all you fishers out there, there you go. Fishing.
This animation,
I get a kick out of it.
It's like hilariously ridiculous.
Way cooler than the cooking animation in Skyrim.
Oh man.
He's like,
This is good.
Good soup.
I agree with this.
Yeah,
I can sign off on this.
Yeah, my sweet roll soup tastes pretty tasty.
So look at his armor for a bit. I think it looks pretty good.
Medium type armor there. Yeah, I'm definitely digging the details in these armor sets. And this is something that actually Skyrim dropped the ball on, I think, big time. You remember, the specific example is the Nightingale armor from the Thieves Guild questline. Do you remember zooming in on that if you ever went into third person and looked at that armor closely, especially in the front where they had a Nightingale insignia, actually, that had a picture of Nightingale, but you wouldn't be able to tell it because it was so low resolution-y, you know, and that's why they had so many. I'm sure you downloaded countless armor mods to fix that.
I had the Wanderer version of that. It was a brown version of it.
Yeah,
I like that a lot better.
Nice. So I'm glad to see the armor details. I'm definitely digging it.
Yes, sir.
All right, we are in the Mages Guild, right? Top left, top right-hand corner there. We got the classic Mages Guild insignia.
Eye insignia thingy.
Yeah, and we got a bookshelf, which we're actually about to walk up to right here.
Yay.
And search. All right. So what do we have here? First of all, we have an entire bookshelf, and you're only able to read one book from it.
But it's an important book because it's about different cheeses of Tamriel.
It is a very important book, probably the most important on that shelf.
Yeah, I want to learn about goat cheese and some of those other gross-looking. They have like spots in them, and I don't think I want to eat.
Yeah,
that
did
kind
you
of
actually
cheese.
read this book?
No, I haven't.
If you guys take the time to read the book, it's pretty humorous. It's pretty funny. He's talking about how giants have to milk mammoths and stuff like that.
Wow.
But this book is actually very important because with a quick Google search, Cheeses of Tamriel, this is a new book exclusive to the Elder Scrolls Online. This is a book we haven't seen in the past test games.
Interesting.
So we will see new books added to the game. As you know, no new news, but here is physical proof of it. But again, I wish we could search each and every book on the bookshelves. That would be ideal, but
That'd be a lot of books.
It would be a lot of books. It would, which I love. I love a lot of books.
While we're on the topic of books,
Sure.
I know they had mentioned that the Lusty Argonian Maid is going to be in ESO, but someone else had brought up the fact that lore-wise, that book was not written until Morrowind. The events of
Yes.
Morrowind. So that book shouldn't have been written for hundreds of years, since ESO. So that book should not exist in ESO.
Yeah, and that's a great point because we totally missed that the last time around. I don't remember when the Lusty Argonian Maid was written. I think they did it with that book because it's a gag book.
Yeah.
Still, it is a little lore breaking, no doubt about it. They just better not have any books on like the Oblivion Crisis or anything. It's like I'm reading about the future. What the hell?
What is going on?
Zenimax, be careful, guys, and Lawrence, the lore master, make sure to reel them in there. But yeah, I'm not able to search every book on the bookshelf. But hey, they better compensate us then with tons of bookshelves. I want to see a bookshelf in every home.
Yeah. I think it is cool though that they are incorporating books so much that you actually have to go out and find these specific books for the Mages Guild, which will then give you more skills, more access to more skills and stuff.
Yeah, I do like that. They're bringing the books back in a very meaningful way. They're connected to the Mages Guild, and there's books you're going to pick up that give you skill. So maybe this Cheeses of Tamriel increases your one-handed ability because now you know how to slice cheese. I don't know. That's cool, and that's something that you don't get in MMOs.
All right, Mundus Stones. I had mentioned these
Yes.
before. If you're not familiar with Mundus Stones, but you have played Skyrim, they're basically the same thing as those other stones. What are those stones
The
called?
Guardian Stones.
Guardian Stones.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you click on those and you get some sort of passive buff or something like that.
Yeah, he said some quote-unquote special power. It gives you special powers, which is so vague.
Yeah, we don't
please.
know. That could be a skill that you could use, or like we said, a passive buff or something.
I definitely hope they keep it lore friendly though, because the whole point of these Mundus Stones and the Guardian Stones is if you look there, it has to do with the birth signs, right? It's the constellations. So whatever that birth sign is engraved on the Mundus Stone, the buff or whatever you get will hopefully be relevant to whatever the birth sign is. So if you're going up to a Mundus Stone that is engraved with, say, the sign of the serpent, I think it's called, or shadow. Yeah, sign of the shadow. It gives you like extra sneak or poison or something like that,
Would only make sense.
It would only make sense, so you'd think. Sky shards. All right, so explain to us, Kyle, what is a sky shard?
I think it's something they just invented to give us more skill points in the game. So
Basically,
basically
yeah.
you find, I believe it's 3 of these out in the world, and then you can combine them and make it an additional skill point to use.
Yes.
That's basically their only purpose.
I will say there's one major reason that I'm on board with the sky shards, and it has to do with, rewarding explorers.
True.
Because they're not going to...
I hope they are kind of out of the way.
I hope they are out of the way. I hope they're not marked on the map or anything like that. Like we see this one is in a barrel. Definitely once you see it, you see it. It's a beam of light sticking out of the ground. But it will reward if you're the type of person, and I'm talking to myself here, if you're the type of person that likes to explore every inch of a zone, you should be rewarded, right? I mean, naturally, you should be rewarded for that. And I think Sky Shards is their way of rewarding that exploration.
All right.
Lockpicking!
Finally get to see this in action.
Yeah, so we knew it was going to be in there. We just didn't know in what form it was going to take. Like, I was thinking a lame form, a watered down form. But we're not getting that. We're getting the tumblers, which we saw in Oblivion.
Yeah. So, let's see. We see that they have a lock level system going on. They have, obviously, how many lockpicks you have. But then we see that they do have a force lock option there
Yes.
with a percentage. So it lets you know how much of a chance you have at actually forcing this lock and not just wasting a lockpick.
Yeah, this is a very familiar system, so any of you out there who have played past Elder Scrolls games knows this force lock mechanic. You can use your lockpicking skill to force it, and that'll be the R key, right? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah. The R key for that.
And he said, of course, as your lockpicking skill increases, you'll have access to better gear.
Better gear.
So that just means, as your lock level increases, you can get these more sturdy chests that require more skill to unlock.
Yeah, so the harder the chest is to pick, the better the reward we're going to get from it. And just another way they're going to reward exploration is finding these chests, which, yes, locks. I'm so glad. And it looks good. I was surprised.
Yeah, I definitely like the angle that they have with this thing. It's at an angle. It's not straight on like it was in Oblivion. It kind of looks like it's floating there.
Agreed.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
All right, so I think we squoze every possible tidbit of squeezed.
Okay.
We've never been good with the words.
Squeezed it.
That's where our name comes from. Shoddy.
We are wordsmiths.
No. Ugh.
Shoddy wordsmiths.
Ugh. Absolutely horrible. Anyway, that was all we were able to get. If you guys found any little thing that we weren't able to pick up in that video, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below, and we'll read through those. All right, so what else do we have in the way of news this week?
Beta information.
Do you want to read that for us?
Yeah, it was just a small update.
Okay.
So this is on Elder Scrolls Facebook page. They said, here's a quick update on the ESO beta test. Even though we haven't sent a new batch of invitations in the past few weeks, we are still actively running tests with groups of testers that have been invited. The number of testers is still relatively small overall, and tests are for limited time periods at this stage. We're happy to see the excitement you're all expressing about the test, and we'll definitely let you know when we send more invites. The test will get bigger and bigger as we approach launch, so don't worry if you haven't been invited yet. We're looking forward to getting more of you in too.
Do you like what Zenimax said there? We're happy to see the excitement you're all expressing. Yeah. Zenimax! Let me in, I'll come to your house and murder your puppies.
Yeah, they haven't been mentioning all the people that were like selling their firstborn children to get into this beta.
Yeah, I mean, I bet they posted this just because they're getting so much Zenimax, let me in, knocking on the doors.
Yeah, for sure they haven't like said anything about beta invites at all for the past few weeks. Like,
yeah,
they haven't announced any testing, but we know for a fact that there is testing going on.
There's one thing that pisses me off about people that are screaming out that they want in beta. You're fine as long as your reason has to be a good reason to get into beta.
I just want to be in there.
If your reason to get into beta is I just want to play this damn game already, leave. Please leave, because that's the worst of all reasons. What you're seeing is an incomplete version of the game. So if that's your reason, blech. If you're actively pushing to get into beta, it should be because you want to help improve this game and make it better. You know, you're going to be that person that's writing them feedback and stuff like that. I mean, like, because it is an unfinished product.
Yep. All right, so that was it for the news for this week. It was kind of a light week, but hell, we made it work.
We did.
Luckily, they had that video there the last second.
Thank God.
All right, so yeah, that was it for that. So now we are going to go into the developer question of the week.
Hi, my name is Corey Jung, and I'm a senior content producer for Elder Scrolls Online. And here's the question of the week for you. After battling through Tamriel, sometimes you have to stop and smell the roses, and then pick them and use them for alchemy. What kind of potions do you see your character making?
Right, so you like to stop and smell the roses there, Kyle?
Let me just say, okay, so for our friends over at Elder Scrolls Off the Record, this is like the perfect question for Shank the Tank. Because if you don't know him, that's all he talks about is how he always just, whenever he's playing Elder Scrolls, he'll just forget everything he was doing because he saw a flower. He starts picking flowers.
See, dude,
that's what he does.
That's the exact reason. That is the trap that I avoid. Because I won't do alchemy for that reason alone. It's just I get way too distracted. Like, I feel obligated because I have completionist like tendencies when I approach a game. So if I run into a cave full of mushrooms, I feel like I can't leave that cave till I pick every freaking mushroom. So I actively avoid doing alchemy in test games. What about you? Do you usually go the alchemy route?
No.
No,
I'll be like, okay, let me try this out. I still don't even know how alchemy works in Skyrim.
No, you don't know that.
I have not even been to the table yet. I don't know, like,
really.
Yeah, every okay. Let's just say this: every ingredient in the game still is empty. Like it doesn't say what it's for.
You're
It's
an
all just
alchemy
empty lies,
virgin is what you are.
basically.
Wow, that's funny. You don't know that you have to eat bees to figure out what they taste like, so you
What?
know they're able to. That's what you have to do. You have to eat a bee to find out how it tastes and what properties it has, and then you use it in
You
a
don't
potion.
eat a bee.
You totally eat things. You have to
use
eat.
that
Sure.
mortar and
Yeah,
whatever.
but before that, you don't know. Like, have you noticed if you look at an ingredient, like say you're looking at like a butterfly, let's say,
Yeah.
and it has a bunch of random properties with all question marks. Like you don't know what this would be good for. You don't know if it would grant health.
So you eat it.
So you eat it. Like that's
that doesn't
the
seem
answer.
safe at all.
Not at all.
Okay, so you find a mushroom, just a random spiky ass looking mushroom. You know this is going to be poisonous, but you have to eat it to see what the properties are.
Do you remember some of the ingredients you had to pick up? That like these fish eggs and stuff.
You do
that
not have to eat it.
You eat it. I swear to
Slaughterfish
God.
eggs.
Slaughterfish eggs. Yes. And I feel so bad for my character. So that's why I don't do alchemy, because I have a conscience. And I would never put my avatar through such a traumatic experience.
I wouldn't put half this stuff in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to do it. My character is not going to have to do
I
it.
think you're making that up.
It's totally true.
Well, I'm never doing alchemy.
Yeah. So,
If I did, what potions would I make?
poisons, man. I love poisons. And even though I'm not making the assassin character, I'd still experiment. And I think that's going to be your answer.
I would, but it depends on how they do it. If it's like a one-hit use like it is in other test games, then I won't do it. If it's duration-based, and I know we've talked about this a long time ago, but if they're duration-based, then I would. If they last for like 5 minutes on my blade, fine. But if I get, like you were even doing this example, if I coat my whole entire blade with poison, I hit a person once, all that poison disappears.
All of it.
All of it's
all of
gone.
it gets
That
used
makes no
up.
sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But if it's duration-based, then I would consider working on my poisons.
Yeah, I think any game like this attempting to do what it does will use a duration-based system because
We'll see.
We'll see
Or at least
what
get
happens.
like 5 strikes or something, not just one hit, because that's just a waste.
But yeah, I have a feeling I actually look forward more to the cooking than the alchemy. I don't know why I like looking through barrels more than picking a flower, but there you go.
Because you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, with a flower, it's
You
like
see it, you know
see
what you're
it,
gonna
you
get.
know. But when you're that's a good point. Every time I open up a crate, it's like a gamble.
Mystery. Ooh, it's
Maybe-
like a present.
Oh my gosh, maybe I'm a gambler and I didn't even know it. There you go.
All right, so that was the developer question of the week. Now we are going to segue on into our community segment, where we will answer questions from you guys, the fans, as horribly as we possibly can. All right.
That's us. Shouty.
So the first one is from Ben Purrington. This was actually from a couple weeks ago, but we're getting to it now.
Hey Shoddycast, quick question for you guys. How do you think they'll handle bounty in ESO? The idea that I would have is if a player commits a crime, like say he goes up and hits a guard, other players let's say he's in a city, other players in the city would get a notification that that player hit that guard and he is now flagged for PvP. So whatever the bounty is put on that guy, like let's say 40 gold, if the other players kill the guy that committed the crime, they would get the bounty, the 40 gold, for killing him. Do you think they would implement something like that in ESO?
Ben, stop coming up with good crime ideas because we're not going to see crime at release. That's me crying.
You're such a baby.
I'm crying for crime.
Crying for crime.
Yeah.
For crime system.
So yeah, I love the idea though. This is a really, really neat idea. Ranks right up there with the whole Dark Brotherhood contracts you can take out on people. I would take it a step further too and say that, like, say, we'll go with his example. He didn't say the crime. Somebody steals a sweet roll. 30 gold, right? You owe 30 gold for this bounty. If a player finds you, you're flagged for PvP at that point because you're officially, a wanted criminal for stealing that sweet roll. If a player kills you, they get that 30 gold, but that 30 gold comes out of the pocket of the person who, got taken out,
Right.
the person who committed the crime. That way, so it couldn't be exploited, because I could see, oh, hey, buddy of mine, Kyle, come over here. Steal like a bunch of crap around here.
Exactly.
So I can just
Yeah.
kill you and take the bounty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do like the idea. What about you? What do you think?
I like the idea, but it's not going to be implemented.
Yeah, I know. Sadly, it's just a fantasy at this point.
What I do think they're going to be doing with the whole bounty system is going to be very similar to what we see in Skyrim. So, like, when you do steal something, I don't think it'll be an immediate effect and they cart you out to jail or something like that. I think there will be some sort of proximity system where if you do come within a certain distance of a guard, they may actually recognize you. And depending on what your bounty is, they'll take you in. Like, if you have like a 10 gold bounty, they might not even consider taking you in. It's not worth doing. But when you reach a certain amount of bounty or some kind of like notoriety sort of system, then they would actually consider taking you in. Now, what I would like to see with the whole player bounty system is when you reach a really high bounty and you still have avoided guards, then a player could like initially take that quote-unquote contract or whatever.
Okay, at that point you're a wanted criminal, like wanted dead or alive.
Yes. And then you would be flagged for PvP, and then a player can take you out and then take that gold from you.
No, I like that very much, because from an RP standpoint, like, you wouldn't put like a bounty out on somebody's life if they, you know, killed your chicken or something.
Yeah, for 10 gold, I mean, what would be the point? But if you reach like 1,000 gold or something like that because you're just a really bad person,
yeah,
then I would like to see some kind of bounty system like that.
Yeah, that's a great point you make, though. The fact that guards will be able to, you know, it's possible that they be able to recognize you, because we know that NPCs are smart enough to react to your actions.
Right.
You know, so if you completed this quest line or something, they're gonna recognize you as the hero of whatchamacallit, you know. So yeah, that's entirely possible. But again, guys, remember, if you're buying this game at release, go in, unless news changes, and God, I hope it does, we're not going to see a crime system at launch.
Nope.
Just go in knowing that and prepare yourself for it.
Next question from Mara Hernandez.
Hey Shoddycast, I'm Mara, and before I get started, I just wanted to thank you for your awesome show. It's always a joy to listen to you guys, and I know I can always count on you to make my day, so thanks for that. My first question is about alteration. In Skyrim and Oblivion, I've used the School of Alteration to buff up my mage characters and give them conjured armor and all that stuff. So I'm wondering if any aspects of this school are going to be in ESO, or whether you guys think they'll implement it eventually, because I use it a lot and I'm hoping they will include it. And my second question is on character slots. Now, I've never played an MMO before. I know, don't hurt me. But I do know that they have limited character slots. So I'm wondering what you guys think Zenimax is going to do. How many slots you think they'll give us, and whether they'll let us either spend in-game gold or real-world cash and let us buy new slots. Because I'm a bit of an altaholic, so we'll see how that goes. Well, thank you for listening, you guys. I appreciate it. Keep on being awesome. Bye.
All right.
We are going to hurt you, Mara. We are going to hurt you hard for not ever playing an MMO. Yeah, so roll a Dragon Knight. That's what you're going to say, isn't it, Kyle?
Well, I mean, we know for sure that Dragon Knight does have that sort of conjured armor thing, and so it does help you out there. But as for other schools of magic or whatever having that, we don't know yet.
Yeah, we just don't know. So far, the surefire bet is be a Dragon Knight. You'll get it for sure. Outside of that, we just
I have a
don't know.
feeling you'll see other skill lines out there that has some kind of conjured armor, like
sure.
What is it, like ebony flesh or whatever it's called? Whatever.
Yeah,
those...
oak flesh and all
Yeah.
that. That was the alteration tree, and then there was conjured armor, where you straight up conjure bound armor from the realm of Oblivion, which
I don't know about that.
we just
but-
don't know. Yeah.
All right. And what was the other question? The character
Character
slots.
slots.
Yeah. I'm also a little bit of a altaholic. I like to just test out other races and see what they look like and stuff. I just like making characters, basically. But yeah, we don't know what the limitation is going to be on those character slots. I personally think it's probably going to be 4. At least when it comes out. You could probably buy more if you wanted to. But yeah, at launch, I think you'll be given 4.
Yeah. All right, there you have it.
Okay, so let's go into our sponsors for the week.
Sponsors it is.
But before we do go into this, I just wanted to mention one thing first. Alex Hurley had brought this to my attention. I just want to say, okay, we always say that any amount donated is greatly appreciated, and it is. But keep in mind that PayPal does take a percentage away from that. Actually, I don't even think it's a percentage. They just take a set amount from any
Flat
donation
fee,
that's
yeah.
given. And so if you don't donate more than like a few dollars, then you're basically just donating to PayPal because they take all of it. So like, even though we do appreciate the 50 cents or whatever you do give us, keep in mind, we won't actually receive any of that.
Hey,
That's
it's the
gonna go
thought that
straight to
counts,
PayPal.
right, Kyle? It's the thought that counts.
Sure. I mean, we'll still mention your name because, you know, we've done it several times already.
Sure.
But it's just keep that in mind. So if you do want to donate, then maybe just wait a few weeks until you have at least a few dollars to give us, to throw at us. And then, you know, we can actually receive some of that.
Kyle, I think it's time for us to give a big, huge, shouting thank you to all of our sponsors that have, you know, donated over the past couple weeks because what are we using right now to talk with?
We are using our fancy schmancy studio quality, what are they called? Electro Voice RE20s.
Yes. So please tell us you hear a difference. how much did all this equipment
A lot.
a lot. Let's
Should I
just say a
say a
lot.
lot?
We'll just say a lot. But thank you so much, guys. These mics, they're sexy. And we're finally, Kyle and I are facing each other right now while we're talking. It's like an actual interview style
Yeah,
format.
we're actually, you know, having two separate mics right now instead of having to squeeze our faces together and talk into one mic. So
Yeah.
that's good.
It's good. I mean, we're brothers, you know, we get along sometimes when it suits us, but we like our personal space. We really do. So we appreciate that. We'll go ahead and put up a picture too of our new setup so you guys can take a look at it. And yeah, let's go ahead and go into it then.
All right, you got a couple Dragon Board statuses.
Oh, here we go.
going
Let me clear the throat.
on. All right, some first donation from Mark Dixon.
Dragonborn.
What was that?
I had a hard time with the D.
All right, a name I am totally going to butcher. Is that? Do you think that's like a y sound?
Like I
A
said,
yawn?
say it fast and nobody will notice.
Jens Kirken Pegasus. Cure Pesset.
Thank you.
JK, that's what I'm gonna call you. Thank you, JK. All right, another donation from Thandis Frostblade.
Thank you, Frostblade.
I spelt this out so I wouldn't totally butcher it, but I still am. Next one is from Josh Mejia.
Josh. Thank you.
And he also wanted to mention again his guild, Ebony Scroll. They are going to be with the Ebonheart Pact, so if you would like to check out that guild, go to ebonyscroll.engine.com.
Sure, if you want to get pwned by us and our queen.
Yeah,
And the
man.
Aldmeri Dominion?
Because Aldmeri Dominion rocks. Anyways, next one from Anders Sivesund. And he would like to mention his guild, Insight-ESO. That's at insight-ESO.com. That is an Aldmeri Dominion guild. Good job. And it's a no-pressure social guild.
Hey, that's my kind of guild. The guys that
Yeah.
just want to have fun.
Next one from Paris Kessinger.
Kessinger.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And he also, or she, not sure, would also like to mention their guild, Rage. And that's with all capital letters, Rage. And their website is rage-guild.com. And yes, they are an ESO guild, and they are also in several other multiplayer games. So if you'd like to check them out, rage-guild.com. Another donation from Nathan Jensen, and they would like to mention their guild, the EmerickCovenant.com. All one word.
Let me guess what faction they're going to be in.
Emmerich?
Maybe Daggerfall Covenant, maybe? I don't know.
Possibly, maybe, I don't know. But they are a moderate role-playing guild, and they focus on PvE, progression, and PvP.
They do a bit of everything.
They dabble a little bit.
They dabble a bit, yeah. Thank you.
Next one from Thomas Bastock. And they also would like to mention their guild, AlithESO.com. They are a 4-year-old established PvE social guild over in Europe, wherever that is.
Ooh,
Not sure where
across
Europe
the
is.
pond, eh?
And that was from Belazaris, and that was the guild leader, Belazaris. And once again, that is the guild Alith. Their website is alitheso.com. few more awesome.
Are you winded
donations.
yet?
A little bit. Though this is good though.
So
I'd rather
many
be winded doing this
generous-
than like running or something.
Exactly. There you go.
Another donation from Chris Davies. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This one I also had to write down to make sure I pronounced it right. Linda Fuchs. Thank you, ma'am. Another donation from John Fetzik. And then, of course, another week. I'll be sad when we have a week go by that we do not have an awesome donation from Sterling Jennings.
Talos! I know you hate it, but I kept it around.
Apparently he has Talos status, and I don't know. He'll have to like go on to Sithis status or something.
Sure, yeah.
At some point.
What's more powerful than Talos? Sithis.
If you would like to become a sponsor of the Shoddycast, the donation button is on our website, shoddycast.com, like you said, underneath our weekly polls. All right, so we're totally going to steal this idea from ESO, or Elder Scrolls Off the Record, but we're calling it $10 promotions.
$10 promotions. What's that?
If you would like to promote your guild like some of these other people have, just donate a minimum of $10 to us, and we will mention, you know, whatever guild you would like to.
We'll whore you out.
Yeah.
$10 and we're your whore. There you go. You're our whore. Let's get along. Let's whore each other.
So yes, if you would like to mention your guild or have some kind of personal message, as long as it's appropriate, then yes, a $10 promotion, and we will go ahead and do that for you. Just leave that in the little comment of the donation that you give us. There's that little section there that you can leave a little comment. So put stuff there.
F you, Shoddycast.
No, don't do that. That's
Hey,
not appropriate.
Do it as long as it's $10.
It needs to be like $50 then if you're going to insult
you
us.
can insult us for $50. $50 is the price, ladies and gentlemen.
We do have a price. Good, okay.
Hey, everyone has a price.
All right.
That's the price of our pride.
And on that, we shall sign off on this ESO Weekly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the Shoddycast. If you'd like to discuss anything we've talked about here today, feel free to do it in the comment section below. Also, you can head over to our website and chat with fellow ESO enthusiasts on our fancy forums there. Don't forget to like and share this video with everyone you know. That'd be awfully nice of you. I have been Josh.
What was that?
I have been Josh. I'm trying to do a different Josh every
sing-along.
week, you know, mix it up.
Should I do it? No,
Stir
I'll
the
just do
boat.
the same thing. And I've been Kyle.
We'll catch you later.
Boy.